Pastors from all around the country are here in Houston, speaking out against what they say is bullying by the city of Houston against local churches.
Yeah, they are here to oppose the city's subpoena of local pastors. The city demanding that pastors turn over the text of their sermons related to the HERO ordinance. Eyewitness News anchor in the field, Sharron Melton, is live with more on the controversy. Sharron?
Good morning, everybody. That news conference with those pastors just started less than 15 minutes ago, and we're bringing this report to you as this news conference continues. What we can tell you is we have pastors from different backgrounds, different races, and from all over the country here showing support for local pastors in their fight, which they say is an attack on their First Amendment rights. As we go to video, let me give you a little bit of background on how this all really started. It was back in June when Houston's Equal Rights Ordinance was approved, and a number of petitions were signed by people around the city to repeal it. Now, some spearheaded and were presented by the local pastors, but the city initially issued subpoenas in response to those petitions, and a lawsuit was filed by the opponents of the city ordinance asking for summons and sermons of the church leaders, trying to find out if those pastors were trying to encourage their own parishioners to actually sign those petitions and go against the city. Well, a lot of people felt that that was basically an infringement on their First Amendment rights, and the city had no authority on that. Now, City Mayor Annise Parker did say that when they initially created the subpoena, it was a little too broad, and so the city attorney went back and tried to narrow it, saying that it was basically in violation of the city's own rights for any congregation or any pastor to go into a congregation and tell them how they should or shouldn't vote. But these pastors say that's not what was going on, that they have a right to create these petitions and a right to voice their own opinions. In fact, the leader of what is called the Coalition of African American Pastors, the president, is here, and he had this to say in the news conference just moments ago.
This is a country based on laws, and this is a country that the people decide, not a king, not a few people, but what the people decide. And we will not stand back and allow a few people to dictate to America what should happen. Not only do they want to silence us, they want to brand our thinking and tell us how we can think. They can't do that. We will not stand for it.
Back out live now, we can tell you that Mayor Annise Parker has gone on record in saying, quote, that this is not about what somebody may have preached. It's about whether or any forum they gave specific instructions on how to fill out this petition. Of course, this will continue on both sides, and we'll continue to follow it as it develops. Reporting live here near the Galleria area, Sharron Melton, 13 Eyewitness News.
Sharron, any idea from some of these pastors why they were so motivated to come to Houston?
Well, basically, as you heard in the soundbite, the preacher was saying that, if this starts in Houston, it could spread to other places. And that's why they said they wanted to come here to support other pastors to make sure this does not continue to spread. And other pastors, as they feel, their rights may be violated as well. So they said they wanted to stop it now before it continues to spread and before it may end up affecting not only this generation, but generations to come.
And so far, Sharron, no reaction from the city, from all of these pastors in town?
Well, like I said, this news conference just started about 10 to 15 minutes ago, so they can't really give a reaction until it's probably finished. We did notice that there may be a city representative in there. We weren't quite sure, but of course, we'll have to get reaction after this news conference wraps up, which hopefully will wrap up pretty shortly. We'll be going back in, rather, to find out more of what they have to say.